What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video your girl is here to bring you guys another video in both my B&B Miss and my collection series. So today I'm going to be doing my bronzers. I love bronzers. You guys know I am a chocolate girl that loves to bronze. I love a bronze, both a really warm bronzer, and I definitely appreciate a cool to neutral bronzer as well. I have a variety of them all. I have bronzers that are way too dark for me, way too light for me, and all in between. I love bronzer. I rarely declutter bronzers because that's how much I love that category. And I'm not decluttering again today. No, I don't have I have a lot for somebody my complexion, but in the grand scheme of things compared to some other people, I don't have that many. So I am just going to go ahead and not swatch them, who child, no. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys all of the bronzers that I have in my collection. I may swatch them. Let's face it, I'm probably going to swatch them so you guys can see. I am going to just go ahead and do them on my Foot Locker, just like I've done the previous two collection videos. I hope you guys are enjoying the format that I've been doing, and also I hope the coloring is going well. I feel like it is, but you know, my side and your side may look two different things. Anyways, let's just get into the bronzers. Alrighty guys, so I have been delaying for no reason at all on recording this video, so I'm sorry. I'm actually recording this on the Saturday this will be going up, so that is why my video is going up late. But anyways, these are my bronzers. Okay, so I'm just going to go through them. I do have quite a few more bronzers than typically somebody my complexion, but I do love bronzer. It is a highlight in my makeup wearing life. And yeah, last disclaimer and then we will get right into it. I'm sorry about my nails. I have a treatment on them right now, and then I need to kind of get them together and put a polish on. So we're just not going to judge that situation. The first bronzer is something that I learned from Makeup by Tammy. It's the Sun Kissed bronzer. It's a giant bronzer. I got it in dark. This is no longer being made, but I will say that when you mix these two together, it actually does come out really nicely. This one is just a little bit too cool tone for me and too stark on my complexion. So using this shade, which is a little bit more like my complexion, to blend it out actually works out. It's not a favorite by any means, but it is something that I can use in the event that I want to use it. So I keep it. Next I have the Morphe bronzer, and this one is in Glamour Bronze. This was the darkest shade that they had in this summer collection. I will say I actually prefer this one to their other bronzer. I believe I still have that in my collection. I'm not quite positive, but this one actually does show up on my complexion. It's a warmer toned bronzer, which is something that I enjoy, and it also allows the bronzer to actually show up on my complexion if it is my shade. So that's why I enjoy warmer toned bronzers. These two actually don't fit into this organizer. I actually have a bigger one. In the event that I get more bronzers, I can overflow into that organizer. And then this is like my main organizer. Oh, I'm also missing a bronzer. Hold on. That was struck a bus. So off the top of my head, I think these are the only two that aren't actually here. I think all my other bronzers are actually, no, they're not. Darn it. Let me find the last one. I'm missing one more. Okay, I have all of my bronzers now. I'm 99% sure. This one is the one that I went ham on the longest, and that's why it has the most pan. This is the ColourPop Bits and Pieces bronzer, and this is what it looks like. As you can see, I definitely have significant amount of pan because I significantly enjoyed this bronzer. This is a bronzer that I reach for a lot. I do tend to stay away from it during the winter just because it is so warm toned that it doesn't really look natural anymore, but I really do enjoy that bronzer. That currently is in my shop, my stash that I keep in my car, which has not actually made it into my car since I brought it in. Go figure. Next is my Fenty Beauty Mocha Mommy bronzer. This is the bronzer that I have been focusing on basically for the majority of the year. I still have not hit pan, which shows that this bronzer, at least for my use, is actually a really good bang for my money. I do have the ring appeared, and it looks pretty apparent, and I definitely have lost a lot of product on the outside of this product, so I'm just excited to hit pan on this and to add this to another product that I've hit pan in my collection. I do enjoy this bronzer. This is a warm toned bronzer, so if you don't like a ready orangey look, I would not recommend this. This was the next bronzer I was excited to hit pan on in the year. I clearly will not get to it. It is the Marina Butte Blush in Taro. No, this is in chocolate, I'm sorry. This is a really nice bronzer. This is like a satiny finish. It does have like glitter in the product, but when you blend it onto your skin, I personally don't see any glitter at all. I just see the really nice, warm, rich color and just like a sheen overall. I really do enjoy this product and this brand. I have a couple more blushes that I use as bronzers from them. And then I also have like a powder as well. I really enjoy that brand, and I also enjoy that product as well. I have two cream bronzers. Let's just go ahead and get those out the way. This one is the Studio Max Fix Text Foundation in NW50. This is my more preferred cream bronzer. I just think it works better on my complexion. It actually gets the product to really stick. Even if I put a powder to set this and then I put my bronzer on top, my bronzer really does look more apparent with this under it. So I really enjoy this product. The shade is okay. It wasn't the shade that I really wanted, but the shade that I wanted, they actually discontinued. So this was what I was left with. And then my other cream bronzer was actually the first one that I got. I thought it was a powder bronzer. As you can see, it's not. It is the Danessa Myricks powder bronzer in Deep. This is what it looks like. I have gotten a significant amount of use out of this baby. It is a really nice cream bronzer, but it's cooler toned, and I don't tend to reach for cooler toned bronzers right now. I went through a phase where I did earlier, but right now I'm not doing that. So I haven't been getting as much use out of it. Hopefully I will lean more towards cooler toned bronzers later so that I can get my use out of it before that product goes bad. Okay, next is all just powder products. I don't have any more cream products. This one is one that I low-key should get rid of, but I don't want to. It's a Guerlain terracotta bronzer in 09. I thought if I got the deepest shade from this bloody bronzer line that it would work on me. It still doesn't work on me. I would say this would work for somebody like Karen Harris or like an Alyssa Ashley complexion, although I feel like Karen Harris is actually darker than Alyssa Ashley. Regardless, this is still something that doesn't work for me, but I hold on to it and I finesse to work with it. I think this in conjunction with my MAC Studio will actually work a lot better, so maybe I'll consider that. But as for right now, I don't really get the use out of it that I should. Next is a really nice bronzer. This is from Makeup Geek, and this is in Burnished. I actually like this. I think this is like a good everyday bronzer. It is more of a neutral undertone, not cool, not warm, just neutral, so it does work for me. And in the event that I don't really want like a really known and pronounced bronzer, I will reach for this. So I really do actually like that product. Here's another Marina Butte product, and this is the last one, so I'll bring that one out as well. This one is in the shade Terra Rouge. And this is okay. It's not okay. I'm sorry. This one is actually really good. It is a warmer toned bronzer, but it doesn't have any shimmer or satin to it. I will say that as for my cheeks are concerned, I've really gotten into having a really glowy cheek area. So this is not something that I reach for that much. But I will say this is kind of comparable to the Fenty Mocha Mami bronzer. So if you want to try this instead, I would recommend that one. And then the last one that I have from them is actually one of their powders, and it is in 300 Ebony. This is the one that everybody raves about. Everybody says, oh, this is the best bronzer for you to get from this range. It's actually a powder. It's not a bronzer. I actually like this one the least out of the three products that I got from them. It's okay, but it's definitely not the same. It doesn't provide me the same look that the other two do. The other two definitely provide me a bronzed look. One's glowy, one's not, and that one is just like an okay look. The next one is another brand that went kind of viral for a little bit when it came to their bronzers, and it's Covergirl. This is the only bronzer I want to say that they have, and it is deep. It is deep, and it also is very, very cool toned, so it's not something that I necessarily love to reach for, but it is something that I have in my collection, and in the event that I ever want to contour, this would be a shade that I would actually reach for to contour, and I actually plan to do that for a video soon, so hopefully I reach for that. Prime Beauty released their Bronzeville bronzers, and this is the shade that I got. This is the middle shade. I thought this would work for me the best, and it does. It's definitely not a favorite, but it actually is a really good bronzer, and I did enjoy testing it out. Have I reached for it since? No, but that's because it's not a favorite bronzer. I have bronzers that I love a lot more than that. Becca's bronzer line, I got the shade Maui Nights, and this is a red toned bronzer. Sorry, my lights are washing that out. Okay, there we go. This is a red toned bronzer, but it's not red enough for me, as weird as that sounds. I know a lot of people were mad because they said it was too warm. To me, it's not warm. Maybe I need to try this out again, but last time I checked, I wasn't a huge fan of this product. It might have also been the brush. I feel like this is a product you have to find the right type of brush to get it to pick up and actually apply correctly. And to date right now, I don't feel as though I have done that. Next is a powder product that I killed. This is actually a blush from e.l.f. and it's in Always Spicy. I use this as a bronzer. I actually really enjoy this. This is a reddy, warmly toned bronzer, and it's a really nice finish. It is a matte finish, so do keep that in mind. But I really enjoy it. As you can see, I have pan in it, and my goal at one point was, and still is, to actually hit pan in all of my bronzers. And the more you use it, the more you get to know the product. So being able to hit pan allows you to know the product inside and out. Next is a classic bronzer, and this is the Queen Covergirl bronzer. I had this the first time, like when I first got into makeup, I got one of these. And funny enough, I actually put water on my brush because I couldn't get any product, and I know that you can do that with eyeshadow, and I thought I could do that with a bronzer. Nope, I got hard pan and nothing worked. So I threw that away, and eventually in this round of me getting into makeup, I decided I wanted to add this to my collection. I'm still not a huge fan of this bronzer. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the fact that this bronzer is clearly literally not in commission anymore, so the products that they have just are not the right formula. But as of right now, I'm not a huge fan of this bronzer. There is an equivalent from the Covergirl like alternate queen line, the one that they made like a whole actual line, full spectrum. They have a bronzer. I didn't end up buying it before I went on my no buy, which I had intended to, but I didn't. But most likely when I get off my no buy or whatever have you, I will get that because it is something that I've been interested in and that I have been eyeing. Next is another Becca product, and it is in Cacao. It is in their multitasking powder. This is extremely deep. I did not anticipate this being as deep as it is, especially for me. I tend to go for the darker shade just knowing that that's what I need, and I did not need it for this. This is definitely a very deep cool tone shade. Like, I feel like this would actually work on like a Nima Tang. So this is too deep for me, but I will keep it in my collection. As you can see, I do get darker during the summer, and in those instances I do need a darker product, but this is very cool tone, so this would be only like really a contour if I ever get around to actually contouring. Then I have a Sacha powder blush. Once again, I thought this would be a really good bronzer, but once again, this is more of a cooler toned shade, and it doesn't really work for what I want. So this is another contour-y shade, and so it's just sitting around right now collecting dust. I know that's not logical right now, but for right now, I don't want to declutter my bronzers. I really enjoy bronzers, and I'm really very attached to my bronzers. Honestly, more so than my eyeshadows palettes and stuff. I'm more so attached to these babies. Next is an e.l.f. This was a highlighter. It's in Luminous Bronze, but I actually used it as a bronzer. I just used a really big fluffy brush, and it really just blended out the product and applied it in a different manner. This does allow my cheeks to be glowy in all senses of the word, and I just kind of got over the bronzy look when I was using this. I did use this for a really long time this year. As you can see, it is not the cleanest thing in the world, but I do want to get back to using this product. I still want to hit pan in my Fenty bronzer. That is like my current goal, but then I will start kind of migrating into some of my other bronzers. Next, I have the Natasha Denona Contouring Sculpting Powder. I got this because Mel Thompson was always raving about hers. I don't really like this product for me. I don't know what it is. I think it's more so the color and the undertone, but it's not something that I love, which is disappointing because it's Natasha freaking Denona. But either way, I'm going to keep it. I really enjoy Natasha Denona's formula. I just wish she came out with darker shades. And yeah, that would be nice. I also have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is in their darkest shade, which is called Endless Summer. This is really not that dark, I must say. I will say that the undertone is really nice. It is warm, so I do appreciate that. But the actual shade of this is just not all that, nor a bag of chips. So yeah. Then we have my two other ColourPop bronzers. This one is actually a replacement for my Bits and Pieces. I wanted to have a backup because I know how ColourPop is and I know how they love to discontinue things, and I did not want to be without that other Bits and Pieces because Bits and Pieces quite literally has been my #1 bronzer for a while now. And then I also wanted to try the bronzer that was one up from that, and it's Rodeo Drive. This is pretty much my skin tone, whereas Bits and Pieces is just a shade darker and warmer, so it works out. This is not bad, but this would be more of a shade that I would use right now in the winter and fall period, whereas Bits and Pieces I can use all year round. Even during the summer, it still is deep enough to really work on my complexion. 3 more bronzers left. I have another product from Becca, and this is in Deep Bronze. This is another one of their multitasking powders, and once again, this is a really deep powder. I keep thinking that I'm getting the right shade and I'm not. And this is also another cool toned powder, so another contoury shade. Not something that I'm really looking for right now, but something that I have decided to keep nonetheless. Second to last, I have my Kylie bronzer, and this one is in Tawny Mommy. This shade is okay. It isn't as light as I honestly thought it was going to be, but it definitely is not as dark as it's going to be. But I will say, this in conjunction with my cream bronzer from MAC works perfectly because I do truly enjoy this undertone. So this is why I've kept this in my collection. I wouldn't highly recommend this because if you are my complexion, you would need potentially another product to make it work the way I've enjoyed other bronzers working. It does show up on my complexion, but it's not as apparent as my other bronzers, which is why if I put it under or over the cream, I feel like it just works perfectly. And then the last product was actually a gift from a friend, so it's very important to me, and this is the Jouer powder, translucent powder in Deep. I find that this is a good bronzer. I did try and record a bronzer hunt, and apparently I deleted it. My bizzles. Me and bronzer hunts were just not working at all this year. It just was not happening. Anyways, this is a really good product. Once again, I think it works even better if you combine it with a cream base, but I do enjoy this product, and that's why I kept it in this area. Otherwise, I would have put it in my powder area. But that's all I have for you guys. I have quite a few bronzers. Let me go ahead and count how many I have. So I have 24 bronzers, which is quite a few bronzers, like I said, for somebody that is my complexion. But I am very happy with my bronzer collection, even though there are some products that I actually don't get use out of because I don't particularly like the undertone right now. But I know me. I change my makeup style all the time, so I don't feel it's right to get rid of products that actually work, that I do enjoy, just not the undertone right now. But that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And as always, y'all, it has been real. Peace.